Hi guys, and welcome back to Factorio Vanilla. This is episode 39, and I'm your host, Glitch. Now, I'm excited because, just a few seconds ago, our rocket silo finished being built. So this really does mark the beginning of the end of the game for us. And we want to stop this straight away, because that's just going to cause chaos otherwise. So we can now actually deconstruct all of this, and I think we've probably finished building all these as well. We have, brilliant. So if we put down some storage chests for a second, we can just deconstruct the entire thing. So where's our deconstruction planner? There it is. And it's going to try and load it all into our chest for now, which I don't really want. And we can do the same to this. So all the robots are going to try and deconstruct everything into our pocket, which is not at all what I wanted. I don't want to take it to storage really, but we would just have to make do with what they do. So while we're waiting for all these things to be deconstructed and put away, and we'll have lots and lots of warnings about that, so I apologise for the beeping in the background. Let's dump all that for now. Has that stopped it? More or less. So, having dumped all that, we still need to request the... what are they called? Productivity modules back, because we need those. But now we can actually... there you go, they're on the way. And we got 2 there. I was actually hoping for 4. Where have the other 2 gone? There they are. Oh, we got 6, brilliant. So we can now set up our rocket silo over here somewhere. In fact, there looks like a good place, because the entire bus is working towards this anyway, and this is pretty much at the end of the bus. So if we pop that down there, we can feed in the various bits that we need for it. And the last one is this. So with that in mind, we want to put our productivity modules in because we don't want to waste anything. And we can now start the production of the rocket. So if we just hook this up with power and give it some filter inserters, not filter inserters, fast inserters, we can now see that we are working towards the rocket bit by bit. And it could take a little while yet, because obviously we don't have a huge backlog of any of these things, but we're 1% of the way there already, brilliant, and I reckon we'll probably get to about 15, maybe 20% before that stalls. But in the meantime, what do we need to do still? We still need to make our satellite. So that's going to take some low density structure, we've got that already. Going to take some solar panel and accumulator. We don't have those. What's being attacked? That's fine, that can be handled. Solar panel and accumulator, we don't have those, but we can make them. Radars are easy to make. We've got processing units and we've got rocket fuel, so the only things we need really are to make the solar panels and accumulators. So let's take a quick look at how they are made and see where we can put that. So solar panels are steel plate, electronic circuit and copper plate. And are we making those anywhere already? I'm not sure. I don't think we are. Certainly doesn't look like it from anywhere along here. But I suppose we could put it there. That's one option. Where else could we do it? So that takes iron and batteries. So we could take it off somewhere like here. So that's iron batteries and that's steel, electronic circuit and copper plate. Okay. So we could come up here and actually use this little bit of space a little bit. That seems reasonable. How long do they take to make each? 10 seconds, so we probably want a few of them. In that case, Well, we can't do the accumulators any earlier than this point anyway. Do we have enough space to actually run something through there? Not really. What about down here somewhere? Do we have any space down here? Again, not much. I suppose we could take out this section, because we're not really using that anymore. And we don't need all of those, because they are, or should be at least, hooked up elsewhere. Although they're probably not, so probably is worth keeping them. But what we can do instead is turn these into large power poles and just have them travel the entire distance. So we can now use our deconstruction planner just to get rid of all this stuff. So that now, something's just gone boom. Looks like they're attacking down by the oil refinery. So we probably want to actually head down there and give this some power so we don't disconnect the network entirely before we go. So just two things have gone boom so far. Have we actually taken care of it, or do we need to be more fearsome about what's going on? I'll have to run down there and find out. Well, it looks like things are still being damaged, and there's no guns firing, so whatever is going wrong is not being stopped. I think firing the flamethrower off around here would be dangerous at the moment, so let's see. I can't actually... Oh, there's a biter. And it's toast. So I think we probably want to get some laser defense around here somewhere, because they're obviously coming in from down here somewhere, and they're probably, well, they're the ones that I neglected to clear out a long time ago, so it's well worth actually taking care of that. But in the meantime, let's get back to what we were doing, which was setting up the solar panels and the accumulator production, so we can get everything we need ready for the satellite. So I think if I bring in 5 of those there, and they can be making our accumulators. We need batteries and iron plate. And do they need to be equal numbers? More or less. I think we can actually get away with having both of those on the same belt. And in fact, if we bring the belt over this way, I know it's a bit of a break from tradition to actually run a horizontal bus rather than the vertical bus, but I'm just trying to make use of what space we've got towards the end of the game. And yes, I know that the space is actually infinite, and it doesn't really matter how far we extend, but I'm trying to keep the main bus, in some sort of semblance of where it's begun. So that needs to come out there, and we need to bring some iron in as well somewhere. In fact, that can come there instead, and we can bring our iron through This throat infection is absolutely killing me. You can't hear me coughing because I keep blocking it out, but I keep having to stop and pause and stop what I'm doing, and it's really quite distracting. I wish I could get over it already. But anyway, back to this. So I should have some underground belt coming to me now, and then we can get the rest of this finished. So how is this going to tie up? Well, I think coming from both of those. Do we not have any underground belt in the system? Oh, I spoke too soon. Here it comes. So it's getting to the stage now where lots of things are attacking us all the time, but hopefully our defences will hold out for as long as we need them to. Because at this point we are very close to actually getting the rocket off the ground and we can escape. So that's the accumulators sorted, or will be in a moment or so, and they can come out on a belt. And go into a provider chest there, which I think we're going to link the provider chest up since we've got the cable. And the condition on this is going to be only insert if... Where is it? Only insert if accumulators are less than 100. And we need a fast inserter there as well, and then we just need some power. So that should be accumulators taken care of, and we can do the same on the other side for solar panels, which need steel, copper plate and electronic circuit. So we can probably run the steel and the copper plate on the one side and the electronic circuit on the outside, and then just dump into here again. So I need to remember to put some lights in here as well, because again, come night time, I want you guys to be able to see what's going on. Have we run out of lights? Looks like we might have done, so I have to quickly make some more. And that can be a good time to tell this to always give us 100 iron plate again. So this is going to produce solar panels. We want to have a belt running along there, and that's going to need to be moved, so that can go to there and there, which will free us up to have our outputs here as well. And just like the blue inserters, we want some red inserters on the other side. And we want another provider chest. So we're going to need a little bit more green wire. And this is going to do almost exactly the same, only instead of telling it to limit the accumulators, it's going to tell it to limit the solar panels. So what do we want? We want steel and copper on the inside lane. Something's going boom. Our two turrets were destroyed. Well, that wasn't very friendly. That does tend to suggest that a slightly stronger force than we're used to is coming through though. So let's go take care of that before it causes any more damage. Now I've got to remember I've got the flame at the moment, So let's not... Okay, it's only a big fighter. But it looks like I've got a couple of them coming through at this point, so it might be worth putting down a spot of wall. I keep coughing. A spot of wall to try and protect these things. And in fact, we could protect it even better. No, it's probably not worth it. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So what were we doing? Well, these are quickly running out, but I can leave them for the time being. But we were in the middle of setting up solar panels, which I'm sure I've done somewhere else, but I can't see them, so just have to leave it and trust that they will get done somewhere. But yes, we needed, what was it, steel and green circuits? Steel and copper to come in on the inside lane. So we can now put our inserter in by here, and again we're using a lot of steel to do some of these stuff, so probably do want to look at getting some of that fixed up where we can. More things are taking damage, that's probably down to the south again. But damage we can cope with, things get destroyed, that's where we need to start worrying. So that's the copper and the steel hooked up, and then we need green circuits on this outside line. We need more green circuits than anything else. Yep. So if we bring our green circuits up on this way instead, there you go, that can just hook in there as soon as we connect the lines. So again, bring it down to both sides. We should really run that right along to the bottom, just to actually be consistent with our bus. Same with this, and same for the batteries, even though we're not actually using the batteries any further at this point. So that can go there, take this one out, and put in 2 splitters. And Bob's your uncle, we now have everything we need coming in to make the solar panels as well. So where's our green wire? There it is. Going to do exactly the same as we did up here, and hook this on. There you go. And we're going to tell this that it can work whenever we have less than 100 solar panels. And just copy that across to these as well. So the last thing we need now is to give the whole thing power. Let's see. We've got 101 accumulators there, so very close. And we should have 100 solar panels in a moment or two. Let's come back over here and see how we are doing with this. We're up to 30%, so that's not bad. And we are being attacked again, which is not good. So, what are we actually lacking? Well, things have actually gone boom at the moment. They have broken through on the right hand side. So let's run all the way to the other end of the factory, because it had to be at the other end of the factory. And then we can see what we can salvage, because we really don't want them destroying the power plant. I can see that all this is cut off as well, so our steel production has probably dropped off dramatically. So in order to actually get the steel production up and running again, we're probably going to have to either divert coal in from somewhere, or we're going to have to set up a new furnace section just for the final section of the game. But meanwhile, let's come over here and see actually what's happened. We've had a massive breach, they've come through, they've destroyed lots of things. So what we probably want to do then is extend the logistics network out to here, so we can actually fix these things without me having to worry about them. So do we have enough roboports to do that? Possibly. Going to take 2 roboports just to cover this section. And obviously we've got to power them as well. So we are falling just short there, which is a bit annoying. So can we request any more from the network? Possibly, but we might have to move into the network range to actually do it. In the meantime, let's grab a large pole and hook it up to something over here. There you go, so that one's got power. And we can finish the last of these off. That's no good. That needs to be there instead. So as soon as we get one more... Yep. As soon as we get one more roboport, we can complete the 2 networks and link them up. So if I run through the network towards where they're coming from, hopefully they will meet me halfway. There's a few things coming down, so hopefully that's got the roboport I need. And it did. Good. So I know this is going to be a bit of a tenuous link, but it is a link nonetheless, which will allow our other roboports to support things to self-repair. Okay, with that in mind, I think we will call things there, because we are quite close to finishing, but there's a couple of things we need to tweak still. So this has been Factorio Vanilla. I've been your host, Glitch, and I will see you next time for what might be the final episode. Take care.